We are back. Yeah, we're good. I have purged myself of whatever was inside me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was watching the last bit of that fucking JDM Belal fight, and I was kind of struggling to get through it a little bit because the kid needed to let it go, brother. The kid needed to let go of the excess weight, but that was a fucking fantastic fight, bro. That JDM Belal fight, that was incredible. I honestly think that Belal came into that with just a terrible game plan. I think that Belal came into that with probably the worst game plan that you could come into it with, because you go in and the one thing that JDM is really good at is boxing. If you're going up against JDM, you don't really want to sit there and just box JDM. It's just never going to be worth it for you. Yet he just went in there and what? He had 2 takedown attempts in the entire fight. Like, I really don't know what the game plan was from Belal. I don't know why he came in with that game plan. I'm a little bit confused. Did Belal go in there really with the intention of, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try, like, I'm going to go out there and I'm really going to try and outbox JDM? Is that what he came out with? I've never been happier. I don't remember the name. Nobody's going to remember the name. Like I said multiple times, I said, everybody, bro, Belal Muhammad is not going to be remembered as a 170-pounder. Belal Muhammad is not good. Belal Muhammad is mid, and everybody called me crazy. Everybody said, no, Belal Muhammad is great. Stop hating on Belal Muhammad so much. Everybody called me crazy. Now where's everybody? Nobody in here giving me my plaudits. Nobody in here giving me my plaudits. Welterweight is great again, bro. Welterweight's going to be fun. I can't wait for welterweight. Welterweight's going to be super, super fun in the future. We've got so many good fights on the come up. Like, we've got so many good fights scheduled that there's no way that welterweight's not going to be a great division once again. Obviously you have the JDM fight, or you have JDM going up against Islam. You have JDM against Ian Gary. You have Shavkat's in the mix. It is kind of a little bit of a logjam, by the way. Like the post fight really quick. It'll literally just push it out to like 100 more people super, super fast. But after you like the stream, I don't really like, there's a logjam at 170. I don't really mind. 155 loses some of its talent. I don't really mind all that much. You're ODing. It was a great fight. JDM's just a better overall fighter. No, I think JDM's 100% definitely the better overall fighter. But I think that a lot of the people that thought that Belal Muhammad was this unbelievable fighter when I was saying that he wasn't, I've always said Belal is good. I've always said Belal is a good fighter. I've always said he's not a championship level fighter. And you have no idea the amount of comments I got from so many people saying that, no way, how can you say that Belal Muhammad's not a good fighter? Who are you to say that Belal Muhammad's not a championship level fighter? Did you see what he did to Leon? Some of the people in chat could have beat Leon when Belal fought him. You have to remember how awful he looked that night. Wait, Belal skipped the interview? It seems kind of weird. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Nobody really cares about Belal anymore. Belal's going to go into the depths of 170. I don't know who the fuck he's going to fight next. He's going to fight at pretty much like a nobody next. Who does JDM beat out of these? Shavkat, Brady, Buckley, and Gary. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. First of all, shout out Breadman for the membership. I appreciate you, Breadman, brother. Shout out to Big Dog Breadman. That's actually hard to do. Get a red man spam in the chat really quick. Or get a W Breadman. Fuck me, why can't I talk, bro? All this talking in the fucking watch party, as soon as I get towards the end of it, my mouth just stops working. It's like a porn star, bro. My mouth stops working. You get me going hours and hours and hours. My mouth doesn't work anymore. Leon is buns. Leon might be one of the guys that has stock dropped the most here. Because Leon made Belal look like fucking prime Canelo. And you can see that there's just a big difference in the boxing. There's also, I think, a big difference here in Belal Muhammad when he trains with Khabib in Islam and Belal Muhammad when he trains in Chicago. I really don't understand. Like, if you're to paint out Belal Muhammad's perfect fight in that fight, what does it look like? Does it look like what he did? I really don't, I can't imagine so. You think that Belal Muhammad's favorite game plan, do you think that Belal Muhammad's like #1 game plan when he was going into that was going, I'm not going to be able to take him down until the 5th round, and I'm going to strike with him for 24 minutes? I really do not understand. There is some people, I think the people that got the fucking best, like the people who stock rose the most out of this, you obviously have JDM because he becomes a UFC champion, so he does really well. Islam, I don't want to fucking, be mean to JDM. I think Islam's an easy fight, or I think JDM's an easy fight for Islam. I really do think that JDM's an easy fight for Islam. I just think that, Islam's going to come in with a 10 times better game plan. Islam's got better striking than Belal. We did see the Belal's striking looked okay in that fight. Belal's striking looked a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. But I don't know, bro. Like, I think Islam's striking is 3 or 4 times better than what Belal's is. I really do think that it's way, 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 way better than what Belal's is. I also do think that JDM's striking is better than Islam's. But I think that there's not that big of a gap between JDM and Islam in the striking. There's a huge gap in the wrestling. We also have to give plaudits. And, bro, there's so many different things. See, when I start thinking about fights, like, so many different things float through my head. Thinking about the wrestling defense. JDM's wrestling defense did look good in that fight. Thinking about Craig Jones in JDM's corner. Craig Jones has already game planned that Islam Makhachev fight once. If you give him another 12 weeks to game plan that Islam Makhachev problem again, how does he do? He did really well in the first one with Volkanovski, who is much smaller than JDM. I'm not... Now I'm going 50-50, bro. Now, like, see, this is what happens when I don't think about shit before I say it. Now I'm kind of thinking 50-50. I don't know. Because I think that Islam's striking is a lot better than what Belal's is. But I also think, when you think about just like a matchup for matchup, JDM's much bigger than Volkanovski, brother. Much bigger than Volkanovski. And I think that JDM, when you look at that, when you look at the comparisons between him and Volkanovski, wrestling defense good, submission defense from JDM we haven't seen. We haven't seen JDM really in that deep of submissions. But like jiu-jitsu, like defensive jiu-jitsu, Gilbert Burns has better jiu-jitsu than what Islam Makhachev does. I don't care what anybody says. Gilbert Burns has better straight-up jiu-jitsu than what Islam Makhachev does. And it's going to be the first fight in Islam's probably his entire career where he doesn't have a big weight advantage. I don't fucking know, bro. I really don't know. That fight's looking a lot closer. The more that I think about that fight in my head, it's closer. Charles and Ilia. I think that's an interesting one to talk about. I think that's an interesting fight. Who do I have between Charles and Ilia? A lot of people are going to go Ilia right away. Ilia. I don't think Ilia wins that fight easily. Charles Oliveira has an innate ability to recover. And the only really time that we've seen the hard counter to Charles Oliveira is elite power, or not elite power, but good power with elite submission wrestling. Do you guys think that Ilia will enter Charles Oliveira's guard if he knocks him down? I do think so. Do you think that Islam Makhachev, or do you think that Ilia will be able to do what Islam Makhachev did once he enters Charles Oliveira's guard? No. So I think that there is a good chance that Ilia will knock him down and hurt him. But I think that Charles should, like, if Charles opens up as a big underdog in that fight, I'm going to bet the house on Charles. Because Charles has great power, is able to counterpunch really, really well. He's able to counterpunch really, really well. If Ilia tries to wrestle him, like, Charles isn't worried about that. And I think Charles could come out there and try to wrestle Ilia. I want to see Ilia's defensive wrestling and his grappling against what is the best in, probably like the best in the game. When it comes to mixing MMA grappling, when it comes to dangerous guards, Charles probably is the best. So I want to see what that fight looks like. I think that that fight is just as interesting as Ilia against Islam. And I think you also get the added bonus of you get JDM and Ilia too, which both I think are close fights. Like, neither of those fights in my head, when I think about them, I thought in my head, like, kind of going through it when I was thinking Ilia, when I was thinking Islam against JDM, I thought to myself, JDM will lose that fight pretty comprehensively. The more that I think about it, the more that I go through it in my head, reflecting on what happened in that Belal fight, it's honestly kind of similar to the last Ilia fights that we've seen, that Belal JDM fight, where JDM looked good in the striking. Don't get me wrong, you could easily see that JDM was a better striker. But I actually think JDM striking looked worse in that fight than what I thought. I thought he'd be able to school Belal in the boxing, which he did at moments, but not for the entire fight. And then, obviously, you have JDM's wrestling defense, his takedown defense looked really, really good in that fight. It's kind of similar to what Islam looked like when we saw him against Dustin Poirier, but the inverse, where Islam's striking looked much better against Dustin Poirier than what we thought it was. I'm not even going to talk about that Moicano fight because it's kind of a bullshit fight. But Islam's wrestling, like, Islam had Dustin Poirier's back for 3 minutes and couldn't finish him. So both of them are super close fights. Both of them are super, super close fights. And I'm excited for both. I'm really, really excited for both. Did I see Islam's tweet? No, let's check out this Islam tweet. Another thing that Islam said that I think is just going to happen, UFC 317, this is the Islam tweet, by the way. UFC 317 is not going to be fought for an interim belt. He's not going to be able to keep both belts. There's just no fucking way at all. People saying that he's ducking Ilia are crazy too. Like, he's not ducking Ilia, brother. Islam would beat Ilia pretty comprehensively. I think Islam's a much better fight, or I think Charles is a much better fight for Ilia too. I think it's a much better fight. Because Ilia is not a big 155er. He wasn't a huge 145er. He was decently big as a 145er. He's not a big 155er by any means. People are saying he's walking around at 185 and 190. He's not. I don't care what you say. Like, bro, look at Ilia Topuria when he spars outside of camp. He's not 185. The guy's not 190. He's just straight up not. So I think he's going to be pretty small at 155, and he's not going to have a strength advantage. We're going to have to see how his power tracks to 155. Who do I have in Islam JDM? That's tough. I'm actually interested, boys. The first one that I want to hear is Islam JDM. What does everybody think that that Islam JDM fight's going to look like? Who wins? Who wins in Islam and JDM? I was about to win 1,600, but my JDM bet was TKO/KO in the fourth. I'll take the win though. Yeah, that's tough. TKO/KO in the fourth would have been fucking nice, bro. He said he wants the belt. Yeah, he wants a second belt. He's not going to be able to keep the 55-pound belt. There's just simply not a single way in hell that the UFC have an international fight week that is headlined by an interim belt. It doesn't make any sense at all. JDM, Islam cooks JDM, Islam by sub, JDM's going to gas. That's another thing. JDM's gas tank didn't look great in a fight that is JDM's fight. Like, I was kind of watching that second round, and I was thinking to myself, this is literally JDM's perfect fight. Like, if you're asking me to draw up a fight for JDM where he's not going to gas out, this is the fight that I'm drawing up for him. Because he isn't going to gas out because it's boxing. Like, that's what he does. But still, when we get to that 20th minute, when we get to that 15th minute, it looked like JDM was tired. It looked like JDM was tired in that third, fourth, and fifth round. The places where Belal Muhammad didn't push the pace, the places where Belal Muhammad didn't really shoot for takedowns, I feel like Islam will. That's a close fight, man. I'm gonna need a lot of time to think about that fight. That JDM Islam fight is very, very close. If JDM beats Islam, would be one of the biggest upsets ever. No, I don't think it's one of the biggest upsets ever. I seriously think that's a 50-50 fight. I honestly think that's a 50-50 fight. Islam looked gassed by the third. In his last fight, Islam did not look great. In his last fight against Moicano, he did look great, but that's not even a real fight. JDM looked gassed by the third? Okay, yeah. That makes more sense. I was trying to think to myself, like, Islam did get a submission in the fifth. Hope JDM knocks Islam the fuck out and Islam has to go back to challenge Ilia, and I sure hope Ilia makes him fight a number one contender, fight to earn his shot. I'm going to talk about that really quickly. 1,000% Ilia should have earned his shot. That whole thing that Islam said makes a ton of sense. Bro, I love Ilia Topuria. I think Ilia Topuria is fantastic. Pound for pound number 2 in my eyes. But for you to win the 145-pound title, get a defense, and then expect to go up and get a double champ right away, to get that double championship right away, when you're relinquishing your belt, bro, it makes no sense. Especially when there is good challengers. Charles is a good challenger. Arman is a good challenger. Arman, who's kind of been cast out of all of this, which I think is kind of bullshit. Also, Arman against Ilia would be a super, super fun fight. I think 155 and 170 have both gotten better for the future. I think 170 is a little bit stacked, like too stacked if you ask me, because you have Ian Gary there. Ian Gary's probably one fight away from a title shot. Maybe you have him and Sean Brady, number one contender. You have Joaquin Buckley and Kamaru Usman. Is that a number one contender fight? You have JDM. You have Islam. You have, like, there's a fuck ton of people. You have Shavkat, who's injured, but he's coming back. Fuck knows, brother. How do you think JDM would do at 185 if he used to move up hypothetically? Brother, this is too early. He just won the belt, bro. He just won the belt. I also think he gets smoked at 185. He's not that big at 170. He'd be very, very small at 185, especially going up against like DDP. And I think that his takedown defense looked good. It didn't look Khamzat Chimaev good. The thing is, the great thing for us, bro, for all of the for everybody that's a fan of the UFC, loves the UFC, the great thing is you look at this and you go, the UFC hasn't been that stacked the last 3-4 months. The UFC cannot mess this up. You literally cannot mess up the next few cards that the UFC have coming up over the next few months. Obviously, 316 Sean Merab is a little bit weird, but you have 317 is Ilia and Charles for the 155-pound belt. Fantastic fight. Literally can't mess it up. 318, I forget who 318 is. 318 is Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. As long as you get a good co-main and you stack that card a little bit, it's fantastic. Then we get into the real shit. Then you have Dricus going up against Khamzat. Then you're probably going to have Islam against JDM pretty soon because it's towards the end of the year. They like to do that October, November Abu Dhabi card. I'd guess that's where that is. You literally can't mess this up if you're the UFC. You have so many good fights. And then the future at 170, where you have all those guys at 170. You have all of those guys at 155. You can't mess this up. Dana, not even you in your current state where you're in your Hall of Shame status can mess this up. I do want to talk about the rest of the fights on the card really quick. Obviously, they're the main fights, but or they're the like main repercussions, but I do want to talk about the rest of the fights on the card. Valentina against Manon Farrow. I personally gave this decision to Manon Farrow. I'm actually going to go to the actual UFC website. I'd rather go to the actual UFC website. UFC 315. I personally gave this decision to Manon Farrow. Personally, just me. I think that it was a close fight. Like, it was a close fight. I had a 3-2 Manon Farrow. I'm pretty sure I had her winning 2. I had her winning the 5th round. And I might have had her winning the 3rd round. I think I had her winning 2-3-5. Gave it to Manon Farrow. Could see it going Valentina Shevchenko's way. Don't hate the decision. Think it's an okay decision. What do they do at 125 now in terms of a next fight for Valentina Shevchenko? I wouldn't hate to see them run it back. Natalia Silva also, who we're going to get onto. Natalia Silva is definitely an option. Who else do we look at down here? Got Jose Aldo against Ayman Zahabi. I'm interested, boys. I'm interested. Robbery or no? That's all I want to see. Robbery or no? Ayman Zahabi against Jose Aldo. Manon got robbed, 2-3-5 clear. I don't think that Manon got robbed. I thought that was a close fight, not a robbery. I just hope 317 is stacked. 317 is going to be stacked. 317 is going to be stacked for sure. They'll always stack International Fight Week. It's pretty much guaranteed that they're going to stack International Fight Week. Ilia versus Charles Oliveira. We are talking about it. It's a close fight. I think that Charles probably... I can't even give a prediction. I'm leaning Charles in that fight. Leaning Charles. Robbery. Yes. No. 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 Robbery. No robbery. Semi, but not really. Semi, but not really is not a robbery. Aldo 100% robbed. No, not robbery. I agree. This is not a robbery. I know a lot of people are going to say that it is a robbery. A lot of people are going to be calling for fucking judges' heads. I think that Ayman Zahabi, if we're thinking about what qualifies you to win, what qualifies Jose Aldo to win that round 3, which is the big round in my eyes. I think I had, what did I have? Round 1, Jose. Round 2, Ayman Zahabi. Round 3, Ayman Zahabi in my eyes. I think that Ayman Zahabi, in that 3rd round, when you think about who was in more trouble, Jose Aldo was in more trouble than Ayman Zahabi was. Ayman Zahabi, yes, he did get knocked down. But he also got back up right away, you know what I mean? It's not like he was really hurt that badly. He wasn't all over the place, and Jose Aldo landed 15 ground and pound punches. You're like, please stop this, and it doesn't get stopped. I think that Jose Aldo could have been stopped towards the end of that 3rd round. If there's 1 minute left in that fight, Jose Aldo probably gets stopped. If there's 1 minute left in that round, Jose Aldo probably gets stopped. I do want to see the scorecards, actually. Where can I see the scorecards? Because that's probably the biggest thing. UFC 315 scorecards. This is the most interesting thing for me. Because I want to see the scorecards on the main event, the co-main. That's really all I care about. Of course, the one scorecard that I actually want to see isn't fucking here. Where is it? Load image. Bro, this is literally the one scorecard that I want to fucking see. Okay, well, whatever. 48-47, 48-47, 48-47. What round did they give? Did they all give? No. Okay, so 2 of them gave round 5 to Valentina Shevchenko. I just disagree with that. I really don't think that Valentina Shevchenko won that round 5. I don't like either of these scorecards, to be honest with you. This is probably my scorecard. 2. Oh, no, because he had a round in here for Valentina Shevchenko that I did not. I don't hate it, though. 48-47, I don't hate. I do want to see these ones. This was 48-47, 49-46, 48-47. All 3 of these scorecards, I think, are good. I think these are all 3 very, very good scorecards. Let me zoom in a little bit so you boys can see a little bit better. I think all 3 of these scorecards are good. I think that, what round did they give to Belal? First round to Belal, I don't agree with. They both gave the first round to Belal? Wow. That really surprises me. And everyone gave round 3 to Jack Della Maddalena. I thought that the close rounds were round 3 and round 4. I thought both of those rounds were close. I did not think round 1 was close. Am I tweaking, boys? I did not think that round 1 was close. What's your rating on the card overall? On the card overall, I'd probably give it a 7.6 out of 10. I'd probably say 7.6 out of 10. The fights that were close were not, the fights that like were 50-50, the fights that were a question mark were not robberies. They were close fights, always risking going to a decision unless it's complete domination, like Sugar versus Cheeto too. Yeah, like judges are going to see shit differently. Judges are going to get shit wrong. I think that they did a majority good job on this card. I really do think that they did a good job. I like this scorecard. I don't like this scorecard, but I don't hate it. The Iman's a hobby one I want to see. I want to see this one. Let me see if I can just look this up. Jose Aldo versus Iman Zahabi scorecard. Because I want to see what rounds did they give to Iman Zahabi. I presume it was the normal rounds. Of course, it's fucking blurred. Like, what is this shit, bro? Am I fucking bugging? What was the verdict scorecard? So the verdict scorecard did have Jose Aldo winning it. They had Jose Aldo winning round 2, though, which I disagree with. Like, the one scorecard I want to load does not load. Oh, wait, maybe it loads now. No, this is... Bro, what the fuck? Can I read the blurred scorecard? I kind of can, okay. We're going to have to deal with it. We're in trenches. We're going to have to deal with it. So, on this scorecard, Jose Aldo won round 1, lost round 2 and 3. Lost round 2 and 3. And on this one, they had... Was it UD? Okay, so it was UD. It's kind of how I scored the fight. I think that was a close fight, though. I really wouldn't have been surprised to see Jose Aldo win that fight. The one time I want Belal to win and he loses, I swear to God. It is kind of annoying that we don't get to see Ilia against Islam, but I think that Ilia still has a lot of fun matchups at 55. Like, if it was only Ilia there, I wouldn't have hated it. But you look at the other matchups that he has, bro. You have Armin there. You do have Charles Oliveira there. Like, there's so many good matchups at 55. There is a chance, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's all that likely, but there's a chance we see Paddy versus Ilia. I want to hear Dana at the press conference. Is Dana on right now? Because I do kind of want to tune in. For whenever Dana's at the press conference, I would like to tune in. We'll throw the AirPods on and do a little watch along for Dana. Where's the post fight? Who the fuck is this, brother? Who is this guy? Who is this? Bro, they're all going L. We want Dana. We want Dana. So is this guy just one that's taking place for Dana? Dana looks great. So you had Iman Zahabi. Who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is that guy? Okay, let me go over here really quick. Let's do a quick little listen in. Give me 1 sec. I need to fucking connect to my Bluetooth. Fine, we're good over there. Good here. And we should be able to turn desktop audio up so all the boys can hear it too. Never mind, all the boys cannot hear it. Oh, it's because it's muted here. Go here, and then...
I know you guys like.
You should all be able to hear it.
Fight nights and everything, but is there even a possibility of Jack? You know, maybe.
Let's just see what he's saying, just so that we know that the fights that are announced are the fights that are announced.
But now to have a champion from Perth.
What the fuck's this guy talking about, though? Possibility. Because if he's just talking about bullshit, we're just gonna tune out. But if he's talking about something actually worth talking about, we'll listen in really quick.
Team texting and I'd be like,
so, my AirPods.
What are we gonna do in the next pay-per-view in Perth? So we've got lots of support, I think, as everyone knows, from Tourism Western Australia. The events that we've had.
This guy's just talking fucking shit about tourism.
Fantastic.
Brother, where is Dana, man?
Just last one.
Who the fuck is this chump? And where is Dana?
He doesn't really have it in him to do this anymore. So just what was your reaction to seeing? We've seen it before, but this just seemed a little more emotional than the last time he decided to hang it up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jose Aldo's. Jose Aldo's done, man. Jose Aldo's definitely retiring. Do we know who got the bonuses? He might have said it at the start. Like, I don't even know who this brother is. This guy's just walking in off side street wearing a suit. You wear a suit anywhere in the UFC building you can get anywhere.
At what point did he either run out of gas or did he...
Let's see, I don't give a fuck about that question, so...
Content for the UFC. First, I'd like to say thanks to Yves La Lumiere and the team from Tourism Montreal for all their support throughout UFC 315 this
week. Who gives a fuck?
France Margaret Belanger and the entire Canadians organization.
Bro, this guy's got the accent down, though. You heard how you pronounce that shit. He's got the accent down.
Tonight was 19,700.
Okay, so he's going to tell us bonuses. That's all I really want to see is bonuses. The rest we'll see on Twitter, bro. It's all bullshit.
8.4 in CAD. The highest grossing event in arena history that's non-hot.
I don't give a fuck, man. Okay, here we go. Fight of the night is Belal Muhammad against Jack Della Maddalena. I don't love that. I really don't love that. Performance of the night for Jasudavicius and Barrio. Each fighter will receive a 50,000 bonus. Why is Iman Zahabi Jose Aldo not fight of the night? Iman Zahabi Jose Aldo absolutely should have been fight of the night. Absolutely should have been fight of the night. I don't agree with those bonuses. I think those bonuses are kind of fucking bullshit if I'm being honest. It might be my biggest fucking pet beef with the entire UFC, bro. Why on earth do the UFC always give the bonus to the main event? You always give the bonus to the guys who don't fucking need it. Like, Belal and JDM are on good contracts. They don't need the bonus. Yet, for some reason, the UFC just seem to constantly give it to them. Like, it was a good fight, don't get me wrong. Belal JDM's a good fight. I think the bonus should still go to Jose Aldo and Ayman Zahabi. I really, really, really do think that the bonus should still go to Ayman Zahabi. Yeah, don't love that. I don't love that. We'll run through the rest of the card really quickly because I do need to do the video where I'm talking about biggest talking points and all that type of shit, and all that different shit. But let me go through the card really quickly. Let me go through the rest of the card. I'm also too zoomed in there. Super zoomed in on the fucking UFC website. Let's go over here though. Jose Aldo, Ayman Zahabi, we talked about it a little bit. Alexa Grasso, bro, Natalia Silva's fast, bro. To be fair, Jose Aldo doesn't need it. Ayman Zahabi definitely does need it, bro. He's 38 and he's got like 4 fights in the UFC. Make the rich richer type company. Deadass, that's what it is. Natalia Silva, bro, her fucking speed is actually insane. Like, her speed is really, really insane. She looked good in the striking. I'm not sure she's going to be able to keep up that like style that she has with for 25 minutes. It seems like she just fucking has a ton of energy, bro. A ton of energy. Bro, why does everybody bring up my failures? Like, this should be a day of celebration. I told you all that Belal was dog shit. I told you all that Belal was dog shit. Even though he looked okay against JDM. Also, can we point out, I don't think JDM's probably the craziest thing about 170. I don't think JDM's a top 3 guy at 170. He might be top 3. He might be 3rd. I think Ian, if you're asking me right now who I think wins between Ian Gary and JDM, I'm picking Ian Gary. If you ask me right now who I think wins between Ian Gary and Shavkat, or between Shavkat and JDM, I'm picking Shavkat. If you're asking me who wins between, he's probably 3rd. Well, actually, it depends. If you're putting Islam into that conversation, I'll probably put Islam somewhere in there too. But anyway, Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis just smokes the guy he's meant to smoke. Someone literally off the street. You could have put me in there with Benoit Saint-Denis. It doesn't matter. Mike Mallow against Charles Radke. Mike Mallow looked good here. Nice KO from Mike Mallow. It was kind of like a weird KO. I'm not sure what Mike Mallow does at 170. He's not going to be a ranked guy. He's not like a great, like he's never really going to be that good, but he is fun for a Canada card every once in a while, I suppose, to get the crowd kind of hyped up a little bit because Canada really don't have a good fighter apart from that. Saying Belal is dog shit is insane. No, Belal's just dog shit. Sorry, bud. Jessica Andrade against Jasmine Jasudavicius. Jasmine Jasudavicius look good. Kind of dangerous at 115. I'm not sure where she's going to go from here. Also, the Canadians all fucking cooked on this card. Apart from Kyle, who was never going to win. But did every Canadian win on this card apart from the one that was like literally sent to death? Marc-Andre Barrio won. No, Brad Katona lost too. Beksat Almacan, the first fight of the card, Beksat Almacan looked like a fucking dog. Daniel Santos looks good. Like, there's a lot of fighters whose stock went up. I'm happy that Bruno Silva's okay because there was a moment there where I was like, holy fuck, that's the first death inside the UFC, where this guy was down for like 4 minutes and then he couldn't get up and then they carried him out on a stretcher. I was like, is this guy fucking about to die? So I'm happy that he's good. Namajo Sterling, super overrated, bro. Like, the guy could have easily lost that fight. I didn't hate the scorecards, but Namajo Sterling, he's so underexperienced. He's another one of those guys at light heavyweight that gets killed by the fact that he comes into the UFC when he has 3 fucking fights. When he has 4 fights, he comes inside the UFC. Ian Kudalaba against Modestas Bukauskas. I see you asking me to check out the scorecards on this. The scorecards on this were kind of fucking weird and dog shit. I don't really know what they were watching, but also I wasn't like humongously locked into this fight. So I can't really give my opinion that well because I was watching the NBA. I was watching the NBA when this fight was on. I did have the UFC on this monitor, but I wasn't locked in. And I think we were doing something else. We were fucking arguing about something else. We were talking about something else when it came up. Belal hate is so forced and annoying. Fun fact, Belal hate's not forced. And Belal hate's great. Belal, if more people hated on Belal Muhammad, we'd be in a better world. We'd be in a better world. Belal smoked pound for pound number 2. Belal also got smoked by JDM. Belal, honestly, if you're asking me, Belal's not a top 6 guy at 170. Belal Amaya is not a top 6 guy at 170. He might be 6th. He's not top 5. But anyway, boys, I'm going to record this video talking about the biggest talking points. I appreciate everyone who showed love in the watch party and the post-fight. Anyone, anywhere. Everyone who became a member. Everyone who like did everything. Everyone who showed love. Everyone who commented. Everyone who liked. Everyone who did all the shit that it literally makes watching UFC events 150 times more fucking fun, bro. With all you boys in here. Everyone that's showing love, everyone that donates, all the super chats, all the people that just make fucking shit sick. When is the recap dropping? I'm going to record it now. I kind of need to reset the stuff back up, but I'm going to record it now. We should have 2 videos coming up. It should be like 2 hours away. Probably 2.5 hours if I'm being 100%. Because it does take a little bit longer to edit with the green screen. But by the time you wake up, if you're an American, it'll be up. If you're European and you just woke up at 7 a.m., it'll be up at like 10 a.m. But yeah, I'll see all you boys then. Love. Have a good day. Have a good night. And yeah, I'll see you next week for the